In my previous article in this series 1 took a look at 5 teams that are likely to select a running back in the 2019 NFL Draft, and here we will take a look at the next position in the series, wide receiver. While I studied the NFL depth charts in preparation for this article, I found that a legitimate argument could be made that almost any NFL team is likely to draft a wide receiver. Some teams have plenty of depth in the slot, looking at New York Giants and Buffalo Bills, while others have enough competent outside receivers, like the Atlanta Falcons or Los Angeles Chargers. Yet nearly every team could add one piece or the other. Therefore, what I am going to do here is just pay attention to the 5 teams who have the largest overall need to add to the talent base at the wide receiver position, and thus are most likely to draft a receiver within the first 3 rounds. As a part of that, we will look at which prospects might be good fits for what each of those teams need. The cupboard is pretty bare in Miami, even if they have a once highly touted first-round pick in Devontae Parker, a decent outside receiver in Kenny Stills who they gave $32 million to over 4 years, and an average slot guy in Albert Wilson they have $24 million to over 3 years. Still, neither Parker nor Stills have done much over the years in Miami, and Stills could still be cut prior to the season if Miami were to draft a new outside option. Beyond those two, Albert Wilson and Bryce Butler are about it, so a high-end receiving option could really help this offense. That said, the new head coach in town is a Bill Belichick disciple, so there is a realistic chance that he follows Belichick's model and devalues the wide receiver position, going with the guys he has on the roster. While I could see that happening, I don't think it will. The Dolphins have all 7 of their draft picks, and I think they will spend one of their first 3 on a wide receiver to infuse some extra talent into this roster. If they do, here are 3 prospects I could see fitting well with the Dolphins. Miles Boykin. If you like tall, fast, athletic WRs, this is your guy. He could take over as the Dolphins know. One wide receiver from day one, and would add a ton of upside to the offense. DK Metcalf, another prototypical size speed guy. Metcalf fits the bill for the outside threat the Dolphins are desperate for. He would open up lanes for Wilson and Parker or Stills on the other side, and would free up the running game by making teams respect his deep speed. Preston Williams. Williams is yet another tall, outside receiver. His speed wasn't as blazing as the other two, but with that and his off-field issues, he could be head for a mid-round pick. Next, second team, Washington Redskins. Page 2. Use your arrows to browse. Photo by Tony Quinn, Icon SportsWire via Getty Images. Another team with a desperate need at wide receiver is the Washington Redskins. Luckily, after receiving 4 compensatory picks, Washington is up to 9 total draft picks. This will enable them to start filling some of their holes, starting at receiver. They have the 15th pick, which could be a great place to grab their wide receiver one for the next decade, or they could address the position with one of their other 3 picks inside the top 100, with only Josh Doctson and Paul Richardson on the outside and Mr. Irrelevant from last year Trey Quinn projected to be in the slot. I think the Skins will draft 2 or 3 receivers in this draft. Here are 3 prospects I think could fit well for them. Hakeem Butler, hailed by some as the best receiver in the class. Butler is climbing draft boards and could end up a first-round pick. Well, that might be too rich for Washington. He has top 10 wide receiver in the NFL potential, and would totally change the offense for the Redskins. Deebo Samuel. A lot like Golden Tate, Samuel is quick in and out of breaks and built for the slot. However, he can go deep as well, and can play outside with his ability to beat press coverage. He would provide an excellent option for newly acquired Case Keenum. N'Keal Harry. Harry has great hands and wins contested catch situations. He is rugged before and after the catch, and will not be taken out of a play with a jam. He, like Doctson, is not a burner, but he would give the Redskins a polished wide receiver who can be